much did you enjoy celebrating that with your fans at the end? It was quite an atmosphere in the corner there.
That always happens when you win away in stadiums like Stamford Bridge. The fans are happy, we're even happier.
So how much did you enjoy particularly your second half performance, and maybe what more did you ask for at half time?
Yeah, second half was 1,000 times much better. And it was not bad the first half, but some players were not in as to be, and we attacked a little bit in the left side, but in the right side they just played without threat, and the second half was much better in both sides.
How much did you enjoy as well the performance of your free soul today, Ryan Cherky? The first 2 assists, which obviously he has that quality, I wonder if you'd almost enjoy more the fact that he plays a big part in winning the ball back for Jeremy with the third goal. Like both sides of the game.
Jeremy Ryan is an extraordinary talent. The second goal, just the pass to Marc, he saw him. The problem from Ryan, and we talk a lot, is sometimes he plays in the positions close to exaggerate to Donnarumma. Your talent has to be in the final third.
Oh, it gets too low.
Yeah. How good you are. Winning games, no? Assists and something that nobody can see it, not even from outside. So be there. Be close to Haaland. Be close to the wingers and make your quality there. We'll bring the ball there to you. So not necessary to come down. And after that, when we are winning, and after that, he stopped to see practical, effective. So, but he's so young. So, and the impact in Premier League in first season, as much he understands that, will become it is already an extraordinary player, but he has the desire to be even better. Will be good for Man City and for him.
You spoke a bit about consistency before this match. 2-0 Arsenal, 4-0 Liverpool, 3-0 Chelsea. Is this team, like City teams of the past, just starting to... No, go on.
The past were something unique, but we are growing, so we have long weeks now after being out from the Champions League, and we are more fresh, training, everybody knows exactly what they have to do, so that is the reality. So, of course, look, 3 opponents, 3 Champions League teams, and we perform not, I would say, 90 minutes, because the first 50-20 minutes, half an hour in Arsenal were better, and first 20 minutes at home against Liverpool better. Second half, first half he was not top, but we were solid enough, no concede much, and the threat is there.
And Jeremy Doku joins us pitchside at Stamford Bridge after what was and feels like a significant win this season. All wins are great. Does this one feel important?
Yeah, we knew there was a lot of pressure before this game against a good opponent. First half was not easy. They were well organized, but we knew that we had to keep on going. We started the second half very well, very sharp, and then after the first goal, I felt like the game was more open, and we did well. And also happy that we didn't concede it, of course.
Yeah, what a weekend it's been, though. You must have watched the Arsenal game, or at least seen the Arsenal result come in, and think, there's a chance here for us.
Yeah, of course, I watched the Arsenal game. When I saw the news, I really saw that the Premier League is really unpredictable. But obviously, we were also a lot focused on our own game. Winning here is not given, so that we did it today is very exceptional.
What did Pep say at half-time? Because in the first half, everything seemed really slow, taking an extra pass. In the second half, way more urgency.
Yeah, he just said that we had to... I feel like more go to the right as well. I feel first half we were a lot on the left. On the right, we had to have more movement in behind. And when you have more movement in behind, obviously there are other spaces that open. And he just said we had to keep on going. Second balls so that we can keep on attacking. And he just told us, obviously, time is running, so we have to go and score. And we also know that we have a objective, so that's why it gave us an extra boost as well.
I can see you smiling though. You believe it's on, don't you? The race, that you could do this, you can go all the way.
I would be crazy if I wouldn't believe. So I believe, obviously, that the race is on. We have a big game now. We're going to recover well, and we look forward to it.
Talking about the system that you were playing there and how you were pressing, you saw a lot of joy when you was allowing the central midfielders to get the ball. In the first half, they were nicking it around the corner behind you and behind Semenyo. Yeah. In the second half, it didn't happen as much. How did you address that? Yeah,
after the first half, obviously the coaching and staff, they adjusted some things so that we can press more effectively. And I think that's what you saw in the second half. So they had more difficulties to get out of our press, and that's how we scored as well.
Right.
We should really show you your goal. Have you seen it back yet?
I just saw it.
You
yeah.
just saw it in the highlights just before we came in. We can look at it in a little bit more detail, but you know, you see the ball coming through, and there's the opportunity is on.
Yeah.
Talk us through it for us.
I see Caicedo having the ball, but I see that Ryan is pressing him from the back, and he doesn't really know what to do. So I try to just take the ball and then run at the goal because I'm in the middle of the goal. And I see the keeper and I see the goal, so I shoot on the
And
side.
the celebration?
Yeah, my wife is pregnant.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congrats,
Thank you
brother.
very much.
Congrats, man.
I didn't score for a while now, but I'm grateful. So glory to Jesus.
Yeah, you're first in 22 games.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
it's a welcome one as well, and a lovely
Yeah.
way to celebrate.
Yeah, of course. That's something I need to work on. I'm aware of that. As a winger, you need to score goals, you need to assist. I do that, but I need to score more goals, be in those positions. I hope I can just draw the line further and keep on scoring.
So let's move it to Sunday.
Let's go.
Big
yeah.
game.
Of course.
At home, Etihad.
Exactly.
How are you going to prepare for that game?
First of all, recover now, then just analyze Arsenal again. Think about what my task is going to be, and look at their weaknesses, look at their strengths, and just obviously believe that we did it already. They will come with a hunger. They also don't want to just give it to us, so we have to go and take it. And trust me, we will be well prepared.
I like the sound of that confidence, brother. I see the excitement in your eyes. Throughout the season, you had many moments, you know, where things weren't going your way, and now you have the opportunity to potentially get so much closer to them.
Exactly.
How big of a game do you believe Sunday is truly next week? Is it title deciding to you?
I think so, yeah. For me, how many games are there left? Six or something. I feel like if you win this game, it's a big punch towards them. If you lose this game, they have it's in their hands, you know, and then we have to still wait for them to lose. But if we win, it's in our hands, and I prefer to have it in my hands.
Yeah. 6 left for Arsenal to do it, 7 for City. You've got the game against Palace still to be scheduled
Yes.
and all of that, but this is a
Exactly.
huge one coming up next weekend. You've done exactly what you needed to do this weekend. Thank you so much for coming over to
Thank
talk
you very
to us.
much.
Thank you. Congratulations
Thank you.
today.
Thank you very much, bro. See you. Thank you. Thank you, bro. See
Daniel,
you.
really good to hear from Jeremy there. And he spoke, as you said, with real confidence and real excitement about that game next weekend. Now, there's going to be fans who are going into that game with a lot of nerves. Arsenal fans will be nervous because they might feel the momentum is possibly turning a little bit against them. City fans may be a little bit more confident. But do you think, Micah, that it's important that players can enjoy those moments, that they have the kind? If you're going to be a player who's challenging for major honours, do you need to look forward to the big occasions rather than dread them?
No, you do, but you're just very nervous. I think once you've got over the line for the first time, so the experienced players within the camp, they'll be cool, no problem. Always think they can get back in this race. For the people you mentioned, like Guéhi, who's come here and thinking, come from Palace, he's done what he's done there, he's won the FA Cup, he's come to win silverware, he's scoring big goals, he's playing well, and it's just that mentality to say he can do it and believe it. But then obviously you've got to get over the line. That's the difficult part. But in terms of the camp and the manager, the difference I see with a Man City, when you've got a manager who's won everything, and it was similar under Mancini when I was at City, he said, don't worry about the outside noise. You know how good you are as a player. You know what we need to do as a team. Now let's go and do it. And when we was going for that first Premier League, I actually didn't believe it. And I was nervous, and I was thinking to myself, you know, constantly questioning my ability and can I get over the line? And that's what Arsenal will be going through now. But this City camp, they have a different level of confidence. And that's why, as pundits, you keep saying it's not over till it's over, because Man City can come back in this race at any time because they've got the squad to do that.
Well, it's what Jeremy said as well. The Premier League is so unpredictable that anything can happen on any given weekend. And you look at what Manchester City and Arsenal have got between now and the end of the season. 6 games left for Arsenal, 7 games left for Manchester City. And it's really difficult to look at them and say, well, that's really tough, or that's really straightforward, or that's one thing. Because at this stage of the season, it just depends on what teams are playing for. It depends on injuries. It depends on how they've been affected, how much the season has taken out of them. There are so many different factors involved.
There are, and you know, there's going to be there's difficult games in there. for both teams. Everton away for City, Bournemouth away. But, all of them, to be honest, I know I'm mentioning those games, but every single one of those games is going to be difficult. I think the Man City and Newcastle games for Arsenal are going to be pivotal psychologically for them. They have to come through unscathed. If they don't, the belief in it's going to keep dwindling, and City's belief is only going up. We're talking about a team that have been there and done it so many times. And I think the first half performance would have been a bit concerning. Second half performance now, they're going into next week feeling themselves.
I'm just thinking back to the season when you won the league title, and I'm thinking about that Manchester United game and the win against Manchester United as you were chasing them down, and the momentum felt like it changed in that match. I wonder if next weekend's game has that kind of feel to it, because even though there will still be a lot to do for both of those teams, Jeremy Doku's just told us he thinks that feels like a title decider.
Yeah, and it probably will be. In terms of the race, it's difficult because you go through all the fixtures and think we're going to get points here, or we might drop points here. But ultimately, you've just got to do it. With us, I prefer chasing, and I've said that all season. I prefer chasing where the pressure's off. All the pressure was on Arsenal. At the time, we went ahead, and then Man United went ahead, and then we come back, obviously, very late. But I just preferred, as the underdog, to chase. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I think now, I don't know who's... No, there's no underdog between these two. Do you know what I mean? Psychologically.
But in terms of points, Arsenal could have went 12 points clear.
Right.
Yesterday, they didn't. Right. Now it's only 6 points. Man City got game in hand. Yeah. Now everything has changed psychologically. I'm different to you. You was one of those players who was very confident and believed and backed yourself in every moment. You won the Champions League, you won the Premier League, and you probably always believed it. Whereas for me, I didn't. I had to tell myself I was good enough. I would get there. And especially with all the investment that was going into Man City, constantly players being linked to my position, I just had to get it over the line. And I put too much pressure on myself, whereas you believed always that you would win one.
Do you think that Arsenal's team then have that type of mentality, or do you think that they're in a grey zone where it's a bit of both?
I think Arsenal are thinking the same way I'm thinking because I've not done it before. Right. And they've got confident players, but we constantly say about Arsenal, who's going to stand up, who are the leaders in the team. And you look at Rice, and then Saka's been out, Raya's been absolutely fantastic. And you're looking at the dressing room. When I was at Man City, I had David Silva. He was always going to win something. Vincent Kompany, Yaya Toure, even Joe Hart, England international, full of confidence at the time. I could look around and think, well, I'm going to win it because I can hang on to those players. In terms of Arsenal, they brought in Jesus, didn't they, for that experience. But is he going to be the leader Arsenal that they need to carry them over the line?
You've got players who have had success, though. Havertz has won a Champions League.
Correct.
Marino's won the Euros. You've got Zubimendi in there. Declan Rice's countless caps for England. And the list goes on. I think there are leaders in that Arsenal dressing room that can get them over the line.
Correct.
Of course, we talk about next week's result, but it could be a goal difference. We could be in a goal difference game if Manchester City go on and win next week. But for me, if I'm Arsenal, I'm not thinking or doubting myself. You can't let that doubt seep in. City are going to be buoyed now. They're going to feel to themselves like, yo, it's our time. But at the end of the day, we talk about the past and we say the dressing room and the manager. Psychologically, you see Semenyo and you see Guéhi having that belief and that chip on their shoulder and that confidence. But in the end, they've still not been there. They're almost in a similar sentiment to Arsenal. So it's about next week's game. We know we've built it up as big as we can possibly do. It's going to be the game.
We didn't build it up like that. Jeremy Doku built it up like that. He did it for us.
We teed him up. We knew what we was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, it goes back to the point that Micah was making, which is over the course of a Premier League season, you might have players in there who are experienced. You might have players who've won a Champions League. You might have players who've won the Euros, tournament football, cup football. But the mentality to go through a Premier League season is different, because there will naturally, even for the most confident players, be those moments of doubt, or you will have players who will be constantly doubting themselves throughout it and need players like you to bring them through.
It's not even me. I mean, when I came to Chelsea, I won the Premier League here, I had a dressing room full of leaders. I went to Liverpool and we were trying to win the Premier League, and unfortunately for me, I didn't win the Premier League at Liverpool. We got close. We finished second twice.
Was that more similar to, you think, maybe Arsenal this season?
I think, and I don't think it's the same, because at that time where Liverpool were in 13-14 wasn't where Arsenal are now. I think 18-19, you could argue that season there, we were pushing them every single season. and they just got us. You know, it was 1 point, I think it was in the end. And when you look at City, I think this team now have to have that belief. But when I look at Arsenal, I think to myself, you've experienced this before. There shouldn't be any naivety. Yeah. I understand if this is the first rodeo, but this isn't the first rodeo of being like, the expectation, I think, from the outside is they should win it this year. Yeah. I don't think they've had that expectation before where it's like they've been in control. They've let it slip. They've been in control. We're still talking about a team that's 6 points ahead.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
But I wanted to ask you, what about the League Cup final? Right. Has that played any part in terms of the Arsenal mentality?
They cannot have any form of inferiority complex or a feeling of this team is better than us. You have to erase it. There's no way, shape or form that they can be going into this game with any single bit of doubt. That was a one-off game, and that's how you've got to look at it. Yes, this is a one-off game. It's a cup final in a sense, even though it's a Premier League game. And they've got to view it as such, just like Doku had said. It's a title-deciding game.
That felt more like a resounding statement, a message than a performance. How good was City today, second half especially?
I think second half especially, like you say, we did well. We just want to improve, just want to get better. When you've got the players like this guy, it's fantastic. But keep our feet on the ground, recover, focus on the next one.
Ryan, Marc obviously got the second goal, but it was all about the pass into him, wasn't it?
Yeah, when I give the pass for him, I'm not good because I don't know if he score, but when I see he score, I'm very happy for him, for the team, and now we can go play against Arsenal. That's a big game for us.
It's a big game. It was a striker's finish from him though, wasn't it? Great pass, but fair play to Marc.
It's not my pass, it's him. When he controlled the ball, he touched very nice the ball because the ball is not good. I don't know why he changed the ball, but I'm very happy for him.
The manager, I don't know if you heard, talked about you being a free soul, a free spirit in the week. How do you feel the pressure, or do you just enjoy the opportunity to help your team and win big games?
No, I don't feel the pressure. I don't want to feel the pressure. I just want to play with my teammate, give the pleasure, give the good pass for him, for Erling, for all players, because we need goal. Don't concede the goal, and today he do a big job for us, and we are very happy.
Marc, as they were for much of the second half, your supporters are singing, "Are you watching Arsenal?" I know you're not one for a provocative statement, but do you hope they were?
I don't think it matters, to be honest. Like I said, it's the most important thing, even though it's cliches, that we did the job today and we can focus on the game coming up now. But, you know, everyone did their job today. Thanks to God today for helping us, and, you know, let's just move on to the next one.
Lastly, what is it like being part of this City group when you're hunting a title?
This is the last one!
Go on, Marc, quickly. What is it like hunting a title with this group? And then we go.
It's great. It's fantastic. It's good.
People are waiting. Your player of the match. There's a debate here.
I mean, it couldn't be any better. We've been looking at this title race for a while, thinking, can it be a race? Is it going to go down to the last few games? And Arsenal have basically been stretching a little bit further and further clear in the last few weeks, but all of a sudden, there's been big change, and unexpected. You know, not many people saw Bournemouth go into the Emirates and winning, and then for Manchester City to come here and win, not an easy place to come at all, and to win comfortably as well. And all of a sudden the title race looks as it's not turned on its head, but it's neutralised, really has neutralised. And now, I mean, they don't get much bigger than the next weekend, do they?
No, they don't. And when you are chasing in the position you've been in your career, and you're getting that momentum, and you get a result like that from the second half performance, what does it do? What's it feel like?
Obviously it feels amazing, and again you just build momentum and confidence, but like Marc said, they know that next week is massive. It's in their hands, and that's what you want it to be. Whatever your objective is, whatever stage of the season you want it to be, you want to be in control of your own destiny, and they are that now. Going into next week, they'll certainly be aware how huge that game is. We'll make them aware, and top players perform in them games. And as you said, none of them players have experience in that, but they spoke with a lot of calmness, especially Marc. He seemed like he was enjoying and relishing the opportunity, and obviously Cherki's relishing the responsibility given to him as well. So yeah, as much as they don't have the experience, they look like they're enjoying it.
And you were obviously in and around that United squad that were chased down, sorry to remind you, by Joleon's City. And when you do drop points like United did that day way back when against Everton, and you've been in front, and you've got this team chasing you, another Manchester City. What's that feel like? So what will Arsenal feel like tonight? That's what I'm really asking.
Listen, you always prefer points in the bag. You always do. However, there's something a little bit nerve-wracking about knowing that somebody's coming behind with a wet sail. And of course, Arsenal have got the points, but Manchester City have got the advantage of being at home. They've got the advantage of big pressure game today. Had to win. They won. They played Arsenal not so long ago in a cup final, big pressure game. They won. All of a sudden, these big games, they go Manchester City's way, and all of a sudden, Arsenal are starting to falter and fumble. So, the mindset going into this game couldn't be more directed towards Manchester City. So everything's pointing in that direction at the moment. Obviously, still a fair way to go. But this has really evened it up this weekend.
Would that be a concern for you with Arsenal? Like Mo says, in this situation, none of those players have got over the line, not even in the Wembley Cup final against City.
Yeah, it's a concern. It's a concern because they've been in this situation, and it's almost like they're playing with fear, right? Every moment, every game, the anxiety, and they need to find a way to shake that off. It's almost, they always need to take themselves to if it happens and they win nothing, right, the world's going to keep spinning, and the players need to find a way of just going, right, we can't control Manchester City. They're coming like a steam train. They are flying, right? We've got our games that we've got to deal with. We've got to go. If they go to Manchester next week and they don't get beat, I think it's advantage Arsenal again. But they've got to find a way of shaking off the shackles, and that's down to the manager.
OK, let's remind ourselves how City completely turned that around in the second half. And what a story Nico O'Reilly is developing into in terms of goal scoring, Jolyon, as well as his all-round play.
Yeah, not just goals in terms of volume, but the quality of goal, the importance of goal. I think that's significant. Obviously, today was huge. Recently in the cup final, he scores 2 goals. And people that don't know, Nico O'Reilly's all of his career before the first team has played as a 10. So these scenarios and these positions that he finds himself in aren't new to him. He's aware of what he needs to do, and the finesse with the finish, whether it's head or feet related, he's calm in front of goal, and you can't necessarily teach that, especially at a young age.
What about the quality of delivery there, Joe?
Oh, superb. Jerky is a magician. Like we was watching him warm up a couple of weeks ago, and it was like he was like mesmerising with the ball. He plays off both feet, he takes corners off both feet. For Haaland, he must be licking his lips every time his name's on the team sheet. He didn't get a goal today, but he finds space, he finds pockets, and he delivers when he passes a ball, he passes it with information. Like, if he needs you to run in, he makes the players around him so much better by how he just delivers the ball to them. He's a fantastic footballer.
And he was at it again. 2 goals in just over 6 minutes. They were ruthless. They put the foot on the pedal at that point, didn't they?
I really like that about Manchester City. A lot of teams you'll see score a goal and then they think, right, we've got the goal, we've got the advantage, let's just sit back, let's hold our lead. But not Manchester City. They went and they went and they went and kept trying to score goals. This is obviously from a short corner. Turkey just trying to find a little bit of room and then flicks the ball with the outside of his foot. It's fantastic. I would say, just have a look at Bernardo Silva, top of your picture. He makes this overlapping run and Gusto gets caught. He sees that run and he leaves his man. He leaves Guéhi. Just watch him peel out there. He's on Guéhi all the time, and then just at the last minute he goes and follows. This is probably a better angle. Watch, he's wrestling with him and then he just leaves him for that, and that's better.
Yeah, I think he takes Marc by surprise. It's a great touch and a great finish, but players of that ilk, you have to take the worst case scenario, and that is the worst case scenario. If someone free in the box is going to find it, because his technical ability will allow him to do that.
Yeah. Now, as a centre half, he wasn't a number 10 grown up Marc Guéhi, was he? Like Nico O'Reilly. What a cool finish that was.
Very much so. Again, the first touch allowed him to get the strike off, but I just think since he's arrived at the club, he's played with a maturity and a class. I think similar to Cherky, but in a different way. He makes players around him play better. Nouri's played the most consistent since he's arrived at the club, but for me, Marc, seeing him do this, having worked with him, I'm not surprised.
Centre forward's goal, isn't it? His first touch was unbelievable, the way he opens himself out, just touch finish. That's pretty ruthless, and he's got that. I would say that he's got that air of calmness and class about him. Yes, he's a centre half. I'm not saying centre halves can't be class, but he's just got
there
that.
Just in time.
Yeah. I felt a punch coming away. He's just got that air of calmness, hasn't he? Really good on the ball, spots danger, he's got pace. he's a terrific signing for them.
And in terms of the third goal, when Caicedo was pressed, I mean, that was part of City's game plan, but also the story of Chelsea's day a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was poor today, Caicedo. He's been Chelsea's best player all season. He was outstanding, but and it's the press. The press was really good. Again, he bowled it into midfield. The extra touch there. Look, do you know what? Because he's so strong and because he trusts his body, but you can't take a liberty there. They're closing in on him. They're also coming from all angles, talking, maybe communication from his teammates. But that sums Chelsea's night up there.
But I got the impression all afternoon that none of this was by design. Like they were just hoping they could get out and play out where it didn't seem like they was comfortable. I remember one incident where they've had to flick it around the corner and I think Fofana's ended up heading it back to Sanchez, and it just never felt right for them trying to play it out the way they did, and obviously they got caught here.
Yeah, and a nice finish as well. I mean, I often think that near post finish with a little bit of height is quite underrated. Everybody says, you always should go to the far corner, that's where the space is. If the goalkeeper saves it, your mate can have a tap in and things like that. But a lot of the time, big space comes in that near post. And Doku finished it well. He's only a few yards away from us, but he finished it well.
And in terms of the overall group, they didn't just nick a 1-0 win there. They powered their way in the second half to a 3 and could have been more victory. I mean, they did send a statement out there, Julian, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. And I mentioned it before the game. When City are at their best, they score 3 or 4 goals. So that is the worrying sign for Arsenal, especially with the goal difference. I think when Arsenal are at their best, they look very solid and probably end up with a 2-0 victory. But in regards to City, when they're at their best, you can get hurt and punished.
They certainly can. Here he is. Well done, Mark.
How are you?
I'm very good. Probably not as well as you, but we're all good.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Well done. I mean, we were just talking about that second half turnaround. How good did that feel? It looked ruthless.
Yeah, it was actually a really tough first half. I thought Chelsea made it really tough for us and good shape and hit us on the counter a few times, but the manager told us at half time, in these moments it's about big players stepping up, and I think so many of the guys stepped up today, and yeah, it's really nice to get the win.
I'll let Michael ask you about the finish, because the Ballon d'Or winner's just described it as a centre-forwards finish. So.
Yeah, cool, calm, open the body up. A lovely first one. We were expecting the ball because it looked like there was an overlap, and then all of a sudden an outside the foot little prod through, but you took it so well and finished it easy.
I think with Ryan, you never know. You never, here it is now. Yeah. You just never know when the ball's going to come, so you just have to be ready at all times. And look, I'm fortunate enough to be playing with such amazing players, and grateful to score. I actually missed one in training from a yard out, so it's actually nice to to get that one today.
Save them for the games. Don't worry about training. You don't win nothing in training. No, again, but obviously clean sheet today as well. How content are you at the moment, because you and Kushinov obviously are forming a formidable partnership there?
Yeah, it's great. Me and Kusa, we've built a good partnership, but I think anyone that I've played with so far this season has been great. I'm learning a lot off so many players, Ruben, John, Nathan. So I'm just grateful to be here, learning every single day and just playing.
Mark, can I ask you about Cherki? He's just a joy for us to watch. He must be brilliant to play with.
He's a top player. He's a fantastic talent. And not just on the ball. Today you saw another side of him again. Off the ball, working so hard and doing so much for the team. Yeah. But when he gets the opportunity to change a game like that, it's fantastic, and we just want more and more from him. And we're glad today that he turned up, and not just him, but every single player today.
Mark, how much are you enjoying this experience of being in a title race for the first time and walking into a group like you have in January?
Yeah, it's fun. I'm grateful. I'm just taking each day as it comes. Trying not to think too much about it, just enjoying, like I say, just learning as much as possible, because I'm blessed to be in this opportunity, and I'm just grateful to be here.
And what's it like being in a dressing room with serial winners like Rodri and Bernardo Silva and Erling and Phil Foden, all the trophies? They've been on this journey so many times before.
Yeah, you can see in their eyes the hunger's still there. I think at this level it's easy to rest, I guess. You've won a few trophies, but not with them, not with the manager, not with the football club. Everyone just wants to go again and again. And it's fantastic for players like me and the other lads that have come in to learn off these guys and and add that to your game, add that to your mentality as well.
So this sets up next Sunday. I mean, as a player dreaming growing up to be a professional footballer, to play in a game like next Sunday is now set up for. I mean, what does that feel like?
I mean, I'll let you know after the game. Right now, it's important. I just go home, recover, just chill, and then focus on training the next day. But like I said, I'll let you know.
Not just another game, though, Mark, is it? I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, that's you guys' job to build it up. It's my job to just go out there if I get the opportunity to play. But yeah, I'll let you know when that time after the game.
Really well done today.
Well done.
Thank you
Cheers,
very
thank
much
you.
indeed. Thanks for
Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank you
Thanks for
very much.
joining us.
Cheers.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
mate.
Take care, guys.
One of the heroes, Marc Guéhi, who of course began his football journey here at Chelsea. Right, 3-0. That's some player reaction. Here is his manager, the City boss, Pep Guardiola.